how did it feel to step into this role, and what was your message to the team just taking over as interim coach?
Well, obviously it feels great. It feels great to step in. My message to our team was just to continue to be focused and determined and passionate about some of the things that's happening. We have a great young group, a great core that are looking forward to being great as a unit. Our leadership from our veterans that have been around has really been paramount since I stepped in. And it was a pleasure to step in and see everybody focused today and ready to go.
How much does your mindset, I guess, shift knowing that you have more responsibility now and the women will look at you to lead them more?
Well, creating relationships as an assistant was big, and it was huge for me. I have a lot of confidence in those young ladies, and they have a lot of confidence in me. So it's not really a big change. Obviously, I've been a head coach at other situations and other organizations, but it's such a pleasure to come in an organization like this one, where there's so much support and so many people pulling for you and making sure that you are in a position that you'll be successful. So our young ladies are very, very focused and very determined to play hard for me, and that's what I really admire.
What is the change? What are we going to see that's different?
Well, obviously you'll see up and down, fast-paced game. I think one of the things that we've been struggling with is on the defensive side of the ball. It's been very difficult for us to stay consistent. So we've been talking a lot about making sure that we're in the proper place at the right time. So I think you'll see a lot more of a determined, passionate, focused team defensively. And then obviously making shots, just from a player development background, we're making sure that we're adding a lot of player development within our practice schemes. So we'll have a lot more efficiency when it comes to our players.
You've worked with Lynn before, with the team and without. How did that kind of play in, that relationship play into you stepping into this role, and how much will that help you guide the team going forward?
Oh, Lynn is wonderful. I mean, we've been around each other for forever. And it's just such a pleasure working by her side. I loved her then. I love her now because she's straightforward. She understands the game at a high level. She's been so much of an ambassador for the women's game. So when it came time to make the decision on what would happen, we were able to kind of see the game from the same set of eyes. And she was one of those that was in my face saying, hey Carlos, if you're really ready to do this, then let's make it happen. So I wanted to make sure that I was focused and determined and passionate about what was going on, and she was the same way.
How recently did those conversations with her start to you potentially moving up into this role?
Oh no, it was blindsided for me. I had no idea things were happening. So when it happened, obviously with my trust level in her and her trust level in me, it was a basic conversation that ended up happening on that day, to be honest. So it was pretty unique.
You've worked with Tamika, Katie Douglas, tons of pro players before on their player development. Now that you're coaching a young team, how much will those skills in your past help you coach this Beaver team?
Oh, it's going to be huge for us. It's one of those things where everyone that I talk to on our team in particular, they're so excited about the ability to get better in the WNBA. And when you've been around players with that high level of intensity, it makes it easier for you to deal with people like that. Obviously, dealing with Tamika Catchings, Katie Douglas, young ladies like that have, had long, outstanding WNBA careers. So, you look at Melissa Smith, you look at Queen Egbo, and Destiny Henderson. Those young ladies bring so much of a determined, passionate spirit to the game that it's nowhere but up for those ladies.
How do you get the team to mentally adjust to such a sudden change?
Oh, it's not really hard because obviously we didn't have the type of record that we wanted. I don't think our team really reflects the record 2-7 right now. But I will say that when you talk to them, they understand the magnitude of playing hard and understanding schemes offensively and defensively. So now it's easier for them to step in the role of, okay, it's time to turn it up. And this particular area. So it's been easy for me to kind of talk to them from a conversation standpoint and let them understand exactly what we need to do to move forward.
Especially when you have a season as condensed as this one. How key are these initial days for you to kind of transitioning quickly and building a strong foundation?
I think it's very, very. It's a condensed season. First, let me comment on that. So it's getting a lot in and a little bit of time, and I think that takes leadership, that takes focus, that takes young ladies that really understand the line. So once we are on the floor, I mean, we set the clock, and it's time to get busy. It's time to get exactly what we need to get done, and I think we do a good job of bringing our focus to the table.
We discussed this when you were hired back in December as an assistant coach when you were describing your style, but from a Fever fan perspective who maybe don't know you from a head coaching perspective, how would you describe your style?
High energy, up and down. You get up and down on the floor. My philosophy is I really like the offensive end of the floor. Obviously, we have great defensive coaches in Jared Simpson, and I was on the defensive side of the ball as an assistant. But my thing is offense. I really like to get up and down, and I want to make sure that we are efficient as an offensive scoring team.
You have the interim tag now.
Yes.
Do you view this season as a way to prove that you want more, or would you want to be the head coach past this interim stage?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always been a lifetime, long-term dream of mine. Just being here. When I first got here, with Tamika Catchings, Annie Lynn Dunn, Katie Douglas, this was always a big-time scenario for me. I loved it. I loved being the player development coach here. I loved when I was hired as an assistant here. Just the Simon family, the Pacer Sports Entertainment, just the Pacer side. I had a chance to meet a lot of the NBA players on that side, get, establish relationships with the NBA coaches. So it's kind of like a family down here for me. So I would love nothing more than to be the head coach here. And I'm going to work my tail off to make sure that happens.
To that end, Tamika hires you, Lynn promotes you. Are you looking to kind of bring some stability at the head coaching position to this team and this franchise?
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, there's things that happen along the way, and decisions have to be made. They must be made in different scenarios, and that's completely understood. So we want to make sure that I'm here to work. We're making sure that our team understands what it takes to perform at a high level on the floor, off the floor, and really represent this franchise in a orderly manner to where they understand what we represent as the Indiana Fever.
Did you have a chance to reach out to Marianne and just show, I guess, your respect for a Hall of Fame coach?
I have not. I shot her a text, but I have not spoken with Marianne yet. And I really appreciate everything that Marianne brought to our organization. I really, enjoyed my time working with Marianne. Very bright, very respectful mind of the game. I had some very good moments with her, and she really knows the game at a high level. So I wish her nothing but the best, her and her family.